Hello, everyone. Another seasons, another new podcast about the new state of anime. So welcome to the, episode 185. So I'm Mario, and here with me, as always, is Pooper.
Hey, that's me. Glad to be back.
Yep. So this time we're going to have a look at the summer 2025 10 episodes, 10 shows rather. We gonna talk about them, rank them, and we just gonna do that in the alphabetical orders.
Yeah, using the Japanese titles, the romanized Japanese
Yep,
titles,
yep,
as usual. We're not going to go in reverse alphabetical order this time. I don't think.
yep.
Well, I remember us
Uh,
doing that one week, one season, I should say, and I
yep,
was like, "Whoa, this is different."
yep. I know this time though, Whooper have watched a lot more of the premiere than me. So what are your thoughts on the season so far, Whooper?
I'm gonna evade that question a little bit
Right.
and address it differently by saying that there's a couple shows that I'm interested in that actually haven't come out yet, despite us recording this
Hmm.
on July 19th for me, July 20th if you're in a different time
Yep.
zone.
Yep.
There are some shows that still haven't been released that I'm looking forward to more than I'm pleased with what I already saw. So My Melody and Kuromi, which is
Hmm.
a stop motion series
Yep.
with Sanrio characters like mascots as the protagonists. I'm
Right.
very interested in that. I do like stop motion anime. I haven't seen a lot of it, but what I have seen, I've liked quite a bit. And there's also a pair of anime series called. I actually think I know the English titles off the top of my head rather than the Japanese one. So one of them is called "Let's Go Karaoke," and the other one is called "Captivated by You." And both of them are going to be like 4 episode anime that won't start
Right.
airing until the end of this month.
Yeah. So they are all short anime.
No, I don't
Do
think
you
so.
mean?
I think both of the or all three, I guess, of the series I just mentioned are going to be full length. But in terms of like the
Mm,
episode count, um,
right.
the latter two, which are like boys love themed,
Mm,
I think maybe not
yep.
overtly, but there's at least hints of it. Those are going
Yep.
to be like 4 episode shows, kind of mini series, kind of like Takopi's Original Sin, which is supposed to be six
Mm.
episodes.
All right. All right. Sorry, I didn't aware of that. So it kind of take me by surprise.
Yeah, Yeah,
Mm,
I was when I learned about that, I one part of me was disappointed because I did enjoy the first episode of it, not to spoil too much about our rankings. Um,
mhm.
but fewer episodes means less Takopi. So that's kind of sad. But on the other hand, there have been some really good 6 episode anime that have come out in recent years. Chief among them, Tatami Time Machine Blues.
Yeah. We already had a discussion about whether we consider it as a movies or as a series
Well,
or
we
as a
didn't
mini
actually have
series.
a discussion about that. We kind of just have separate opinions.
That is true. Yep. Yep. For those of you who isn't aware, I actually put that as the number one anime of the decade so far from 2020 to 2024.
Yeah, if any of you listening to this haven't seen or heard that episode yet, it's a two-parter, episode 183 of the podcast. You can go back and see what our top 10 series and films of the last 5 years have been.
Yep.
And of course, now we're in the second half. We got to get through the next 5 years so that we can round out the decade.
Right.
Boy, that'll be having gone through a full decade of anime, having podcasted a full decade. If we make it that far, we'll be experts. We'll be like senior citizens in anime podcasting terms. I can't
Yeah.
imagine that too many anime podcasts go for more than like a year.
I agree with the senior citizen. I'm not sure about us being expert.
Right. Yeah. We'll just be old amateurs.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's fine by me. Whether we're experts or amateurs, new anime is always going to be coming out, including these 10 shows.
Yeah, that's true. So let's shall we get on to the first one then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Without further ado, the first one gonna be City the Animation.
Yeah. Well, I know you're excited about this one.
All right, so Nichichus is like one of my favorite anime. I haven't read the manga, but it have a very strong style from Q&A, so it have like a superb animation. And yeah, I think City the animation just like just on just had the very same DNA with
Yeah.
Nichichus with or which I kind of enjoy. I also feel that the humor can be random at times. So because it's based on several skits. What do you
Yeah.
feel about that, Cooper?
I mean, I this is really not my cup of tea, to be
All right.
honest. Um,
Mm-hmm.
for a long time, speaking about Nichijou, because it is Keiichi Araoi's. Is that how you say his last name? Arawi? I think it is.
We?
Arawi. It's such an
Yeah,
odd sounding surname.
it is.
But maybe it's a pen name. I don't know. But these are like his two representative works. And as far as Nichijou goes, I had seen the first half of it,
Off, right.
and
Yep.
and for a long time I had no desire to watch any farther. But then we did our best anime of the 2010s
Yep.
project, and I had to finish it. And I ended up liking the second half a lot more than the first because it from what I remember, it got to be more, like character oriented a little bit. The relationships between the three main girls became more pronounced, I guess, like a bigger part of the story of each episode.
Right.
And they all got acquainted with, like, the professor, for example, like the 5-year-old Hakase, or however old she's supposed to be.
Yep. Yep.
And the robot girl ended up going to school with the three human girls. Like, there was just more of a connection between the characters. And honestly, after having seen City, the animation's first episode, I'm gonna need something similar to happen as soon as possible because what I saw in the premiere, I was like,
Yep.
man, this episode feels so long.
All right. Yep. I think I can understand that, and I feel myself that the prologue, so like the first minute or two, it actually the strongest
About the
because
stone bird.
yeah, a bird who like went flying, he just fall asleep, so that he get crushed into the mountain and stay there for like 1,000 years something, and then they see like many society had rises and fall down, and he's still standing there, and it just have very little thing to do with what happened afterwards. So it's just kind of funny that way as well.
Yeah, I mean the narrator um, is speaking throughout that whole prologue, I guess you would call it. Although the prologue is
Yeah.
something that happens before the story, so if it has no connection, I wonder if it's still a prologue. Maybe it's more of a cold open. I don't know.
I
Um,
I I think that might happen sometime in the future, or might not. Like it wakes up, or you know.
yeah,
Um.
I would like that a lot. If
Mhm, mhm.
they could even do like multiple, like they could give each episode a little prologue about the bird, and the bird could
Mhm,
have its own story
mhm.
that's completely separate from what's happening
Yeah.
in the city, and then perhaps in the final episode it would finally wake up,
Yeah.
and there would be
I
some
love that
story
too.
about it that would be
Mhm.
connected to everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess what pushed people away from this first episodes is that it rather than the randomness, we don't know much about the characters, so they just jump straight into it without any kind of like introduction to who these characters are.
I think that's fine. Um,
Right.
like for example, one of the well, I think the very next show that we're about to talk about, I'm not sure because we're doing I have the shows written down in my notes in with the English titles, so I don't
Right.
know if
Yep.
alphabetically Gachiakuta is next. But that's a problem that that show had was like it just belabors the introduction of the characters and the world so much. Something
Mm.
like City, which doesn't just kind of immerses you in the city, and
Mm.
as the characters are going about their daily lives, you just are that's how you meet them, and you have to catch up to who they are and what they're doing. I'm okay
Mm.
with that. It's just that there doesn't seem to be a lot tying the whole thing together. It's just an adaptation of a manga. I mean, it's structured that way. It has
Mm.
the chapter titles that pop up throughout the episode as it adapts new chapters. And it's not
Mm.
so much that there isn't this. It's my problem isn't that there's not a story, an overarching story like that. I don't need
Yep.
that. The problem is I don't think it's very cohesive in general. Like there's not a theme that I can
Mm.
identify that connects all
Yep.
its chapters and gags and characters. It's just quirky.
Yep.
It's non sequitur humor and not much else.
Yep.
But of course, it looks incredible.
Yep.
So it does have
Yep.
that going for it. It's the
Yep.
best, one of the best looking comedy anime ever made already after one episode.
Already. Yeah. All right. Big claim. But I do really enjoy the animation a lot. It just so smooth, so crisp. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you on the no overarching plot things. It just yeah, I just feel as if like the mangaka when they start the skit, they just like have this idea and just like go through with it, just
Yeah.
enjoy going through. So like just the key factor that I watched this episode is just like just surrender everything, just just enjoy what is so on screen,
Yeah.
and for that for to put that in that sense, I kind of like enjoy it from start to finish. Some of the joke didn't really work for me, but a lot of them does, so
Well, that's
it worked
good.
out for me.
I can say the scene I liked the most, or the sequence I liked the most, was
Right. Yeah.
the scene that was set to classical music as
Right.
Midori. I think she's the oldest of the three central characters. She's got the kind of auburn hair and the ponytail.
Yep.
She was helping the manager of what kind of restaurant is it that she works at?
I
It's like
think it's just
a
like,
noodle place, or
yeah. I would say so. A noodle place.
okay. She's helping him make a particular dish that they messed up the first time and it ended up in a customer's bag. What they thought was a customer's bag. Of course, it
Yep.
ended up being Tatewaku's bag. He's another employee at the restaurant. But they try to make it a second time as fast as possible, and there's like vocal classical music playing over top
Mm.
of it as they're like frantically working to get the dish done and also to prevent the customer from seeing that they're having to make a second one. And then of course it ends up in the bag just the same as the first one.
And
You
they
know,
make more of the mess as well. But you said
yeah,
you
they end
didn't
up
like.
like a cork from a wine bottle, I think, gets embedded in his
Yeah.
forehead.
Yeah. And you said you didn't like this. It was your least favorite.
No, the most
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
the
I agree.
animation went like into overdrive, and
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
enjoyed the change in sound, because of the music taking a more prominent place in the scene.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's a
Yeah.
a scene that I enjoyed. So it's not as though I hate
Uh,
everything about it. It's just
oh,
not my
I
favorite.
do I do agree with you. It's my favorite shots out of the how many that we got. I think we got like 7 or 8 of the mini segments, and that one is my favorite as well. I think because we have like some sort of stake, like we see like what they what they trouble us, and we see them trying to overcome that. So it's kind of like having a stake that we kind of can relate it to. Other ones it's just like the one the very next one is about uh Dr. Adatara and all about introduction. So all about like telling how cook work.
Right. Yeah, the doctor like what was his deal? So he was in the does he live at the restaurant and he was in the next room?
No. I don't think he lived next door or something. I think he lived in like one of the apartment, but he actually did spy on them. It's like he put on the camera and all that. It's just so weird.
Well, I mean,
That one's so weird.
there was a doctor, quote unquote, a doctor, the 5-year-old professor
Yeah.
um, in Nichijou. So I guess that Arawi-san, God, that is such a strange name. I guess he couldn't resist putting in another doctor type character into his next work.
Right. Yeah. And then I think the one after that we have like one of the characters who just came herself because she losing the or one of her card, and we spend like the next 5 minutes to 5 10 minutes 5 minutes. It feels so long to see her just like go through the routines to calm herself down in a very detailed way as well.
I don't even remember that.
uh
By that point, I
I
might have just been like, when will this be over?
all right. Yep.
It was a
Well,
long
I get.
episode. It was longer than normal. It was like 27 minutes.
Yep. All right. Maybe that's contribute to why we feel it's a bit longer than normal. I did feel it's a bit longer than normal, but I do enjoy most of it.
Yeah. Well, if you enjoyed it so much, would you rank it?
All right, I rank it first.
Okay. Yeah. That was what I figured.
Yep.
For me, it's number 8.
Oh, eight. Very interesting. All right, let's get to the next one. Gachiakuta.
Yes. So as I referenced earlier, this show has a major exposition problem. It's
Hmm.
really really
Tell
bad.
me more about it.
Um,
Hmm. All right.
so
Yep.
Rudo, the main character's name is Rudo, and
Yep.
he was adopted as a child
Yep.
because his father was a murderer apparently. I have to imagine that in the future, this being a shonen series, we'll end up meeting his father, and he'll be like, you know, a rebel of some kind, leading the rebel army, like Luffy's father
Hmm.
in One Piece, for example.
Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
anyway, Rude, like everything we learn about the characters, we do so through expository dialogue. Like Rudo
Hmm.
says to his adoptive father, Reguto,
Yeah.
um,
We
you
end up.
adopted me when I was a baby because my dad was a killer. So, I don't really owe you anything. And
Yeah.
then there's a scene where a bully comes up to Rudo as he's fixing a lamp that he's stolen as the trash phantom or whatever. And
Hmm.
he starts to give like a miniature history lesson on why people live in the slums because they're descended from criminals that were exiled from the good part of town. And Reguto explains to his adoptive son the history of, like, not the history but the rules of the city. You'll be killed if you're caught stealing, and you can't go to the other side. Or and he, like, obviously the kid would know this.
Yeah.
They've lived
Yeah.
there their whole lives. Why are you telling this to him pointlessly, for the benefit of the audience?
Yep.
And
Yep.
there were more examples too. I could go on and on, but that's probably enough. The script was just bad, straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I agree with you, but I did watch another show for our first impressions
On
of course
Starcross.
on Starcross, and it had the very same problem. It's actually I feel it worse than this. So
Oh no.
I actually kind of like kind of glad that Gachiakuta is more like subtle in terms of uh explaining the world compared
What
to
show
that
was
show because
that?
It's one of the Netflix shows. Denki something. Oh my god! All right, I will look it up for the name, but just don't watch it. It it even worse than if you think Gachikuta is bad, this one is just terrible.
Yikes. Okay.
Anyways, I kind of enjoy what I see so far. Like uh I I kind of like I understand your frustration with that. I feel frustrated of the exposition as well. But consider that they just have like one single episode to show us that world before he getting to the pit or the dump. And I think the rest of the season gonna be, you know, like down there in the pit. So I kind of understand why they want to just have to show us everything before before getting the boy down to the pit.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense. I really don't think there's an excuse for it personally, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
true.
you make a sensible argument there.
Mm. And how do you feel about the main characters? Like he really on edge, right?
I hate him.
He right, yep.
I hate him.
No, I don't blame you.
In addition to him, making all those weird like facial expressions like he's half insane, and in
Yep,
addition to a lot of his dialogue being, just feeding us details about who he is and where he lives and everything. There's also the
yep,
matter of his relationship to Chiwa, his childhood friend or whatever,
yep, 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 yep.
um, and how it's how he just turns into like a stuttering, blushing fool whenever she says or does anything. Don't really like that. That's I mean that's a problem that's common to hundreds of anime, maybe 1,000 anime uh,
Yep,
in
yep,
total. But
yep.
it kind of bothered me here because of especially it was especially bothersome here perhaps because of like the discrepancy between how he looks when he's like pissed off versus
Mm.
how he looks when he's embarrassed.
Yep, yep, yep. You don't feel like they are the same characters, right? Because I feel that as well.
I mean, they don't. I guess they're the same character because the show's telling me they're the same character, but
Yep.
I don't like either version. I guess is the problem. If since they're so
Mm.
different, you would expect that I would like maybe perhaps I would like one and not so much the other. But
Mm.
I hate them both.
Yep. All right. For your information, the other show that I just mentioned is Togen Anki. So it
Oh
just
yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
no no don't try to see that. It's just really bad, story wise and character wise.
Hmm.
This one when do you feel because I it kind of remind me when they execute people into the pit. It kind of remind me to make in the abyss. So that's like one of the good thing, you know. So people just get down there and they cannot. It's like one of the cursed place and they cannot go get back up. So it's kind of having the
Is there
same idea.
Is there like a story in Made in Abyss or other details about people being exiled into the pit or being like
No,
executed
no,
by?
no, no. So they were captivated to go to the I don't know what the term they call the abyss. Sorry. So they captivated by that, not being a cell, but I think
Right.
it's like the same concept, right? They going down there.
I mean,
It's
I think it makes a lot of difference that in one
all
show
right.
it's the
The hell.
allure of exploration that sends people
Yeah,
down into the hole, and in this show it's you know,
it's the hell. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a corrupt government that keeps all the undesirables in poverty and periodically kills them.
Hmm.
At least that's probably what everyone thinks is that you die. I I do wonder
Yeah.
like why as Rudo was like when he was about to be executed, or even before that, when he was thinking about perhaps other people who had been executed, why was he thinking like, I wonder what's down there? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? Like, you're
Mhm.
falling hundreds and hundreds of feet, or I don't know, meters. Let's use the metric system. You're gonna
Yeah.
die. There's nothing down there for you. You're gonna be a corpse. But of course, that's not the way it plays out.
The case. Yeah. I I guess the moment that I least enjoy is the moment before his execution. So he looking for someone, just someone who like could be willing to listen to him. And then we get back to that girl, and she was just like throw the I thought you was better, and
I believed
and
in you.
yeah, I believe in you. Oh my god, like I was like, why you have to go such length, so that he have like no desire to come back again. No, you know, it just
Yeah, well,
it
it's
just
just to
like
twist the knife a little bit
beating.
so that he can
Yeah,
be
it's
even more like, I don't know,
yeah, it
revenge
just
driven.
beating the dead horse for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
But well, when we get to the dump, we get another issues. The monster, it looks so bad. It is CG, right? And it looks so
Oh, it must be. I didn't have a major issue with it because you just can't
bad.
draw that by hand. This isn't
Yeah,
the 1980s.
yeah,
It just can't be
yeah.
done. I'm sure that you get enough computer graphics people together, they could dream up a way to make it look a little, better, more menacing, more of like a mishmash of different parts and stuff. But I mean, I think I was pretty much ready for the episode to be over
Right.
by that point. So
All
maybe
right.
I was like, yes, this monster showing up means we're at the end. This has to be the
Mhm.
cliffhanger.
All right. Because we have eight other shows to talk about, so let's just rank it. What's your ranking, Cooper?
Number 7.
All right, number nine for me.
Okay. Not going to be talking about this one in 2.5 months.
All right, the next one is Hikaru, yeah, Shinda Natsu. So the summer Hikaru died.
Okay. Yeah, so I have to scroll down because I used the wrong alphabet.
It's not
Or
wrong,
rather, I
but
used the
still.
correct alphabet, but wrong titles. Um, yeah.
All right. So I believe we're just talking back to back like two of the most popular shows, new shows in this season. I reckon that one Gachiakuta and the Summer Hikaru are gonna be like one of the hits, two of the
Probably.
hits out this season.
Yeah, Gachiakuta is adapting a shonen manga, and this is, I mean, I don't know what the demographic of the magazine where like the Hikaru ga Shinda Natsu, whatever.
Mm,
Um, I don't know the demographic of the magazine where it was published, but I mean, it's a major title. Netflix picked it
mm,
up.
yep.
It's got high popularity rankings, on anime databases and everything.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are hungry for good anime horror, and there just isn't much of it. But I
Right.
mean, this show does look promising as far as that genre goes.
All right. It remind me actually a lot of like a few shows that we watched before. So one of them is Da 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 Dan. Da
Dan
Da
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 dan.
Dan? No, not Da Da Dan. Da Da Da
Dead Dead
Da.
Demon.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, there's
Because
another
they,
show in this group of 10 that is way more like Dead Dead Demon.
yeah. All right. We will discuss that when it's come. Oh, all right. I think I know which one. But yeah, it have like a bit of horror, supernatural, and sci-fi mixing together. But another one that kind of remind me strongly of is the one that we also cover uh, in the last few years. Summer
Summertime Render.
yeah, summertime render. Yep,
Yep. I got the exact same vibe.
yep. And
Hopefully, this show doesn't have that show's problems.
Yeah, well, and out of the three shows, I actually out and after the first episode, I actually enjoyed this one the least. So
Oh, the summer Hikaru died. You enjoyed the
yeah,
least.
so it yeah, so out of like the first episode, out of the three, the other two, so the three that I just mentioned, yeah, I enjoyed this one the least. So
I can see that. Personally, I liked it.
right, yeah, all right, tell me more about this.
Um, well, I like the direction of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely got its own presentational style. Uh, and
You,
when the main character is remembering Hikaru before he was possessed, like when he was a human
yeah,
being,
yeah,
there are jump cuts, um, you know, presented kind of like documentary style
yeah.
that give the show kind of a disjointed feeling, as though his memories of his friend as a human being are like getting more vague, harder to recall. Kind of they're
Mm,
kind of fragmented, as though
yeah,
the version of his friend that he loved is kind of disappearing.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
like that a lot. Um,
I
I
I do
like that.
like the
Go on.
yeah. Go on. I just want to talk. I do like the season where like whenever he admit that like he accept the current Hikaru because it's better than nothing. We see like the silhouette of him uh crying, so the tears come down of his face.
Yeah, well, where
So
it's just one of his eyes and the tear track coming out of it,
yeah,
and nothing else on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
screen, right? Yeah.
I like that. I don't like the third time they use it. No, I think they kind of like overuse that. For a bit, it's in the first episode we see that like 3 or 4 times.
You mean like when the abrupt cuts between the memories of Hikaru as a human?
No, 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 no. So that the tear stream come down his
Oh,
face
you
when
didn't
he
like that it
is
was repeated.
yeah. It's like 3 or 4 times. So
I
it's a bit too much.
I thought it was just twice. Once where the screen was black and the eye was white, and once where the
Yeah.
screen was red and the outline of the eye was black.
All
I only
right.
remember two, but maybe there were more. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
very striking image.
It is. It's kind
Um,
of like remind me of the Rose of Versailles of all things. So
which just got a new
I
movie recently, which is also on Netflix.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I
And
haven't I haven't watched. I'll probably watch it before the year is up, but I'm a little freaked out by how modern it
uh,
looks.
yeah, I think for what I check, I think it's covered the whole story, the movies.
Damn.
Gonna be
How
very
long is the
interesting.
film? Is it like 4 hours?
No, it's just like 2 hours
Ugh.
or less, or even less.
All right. Well, that's for another day, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
I also, one thing I like. This isn't a major point of interest, although it kind of it
yeah,
is. I mean,
mm,
I'll just say what it is, I guess.
yeah,
So there's dialogue about a manga series that Hikaru, as an alien, or whatever he is, wants to
uh-huh.
borrow from his
Right.
friend. What is the friend's name? Why don't I have that here in my notes?
All right. The
Yoshiki.
main characters, Yoshiki. Yep.
Yoshiki. Okay. Hikaru wants to borrow Yoshiki's Master manga. And
Oh,
when Yoshiki asks him, how far are you? Hikaru says, "Oh, Ron has just gotten off the island." So this is clearly a reference to Hunter x Hunter. It's called
yep, yep, yep,
Master. Ron instead of Gon. Um,
yep.
I just think
It's
that's
wrong.
fun. But the what makes it important is that there's like kind of a throwaway line of dialogue where Hikaru says to Yoshiki, "I don't know how you ended up getting 11 copies of Volume 1."
Hmm.
So when I heard that, like why would Yoshiki have 11 copies of the first volume. That made me think that perhaps we're time traveling. And with every time
Huh.
loop, he's gotten volume 1 again. Um,
Uh, so it's render,
yeah,
summertime
that's
render
actually
again.
when I thought most clearly of Summertime Render was when I
Mm.
heard that and considered that possibility. Um, I don't know why else that line would have been included, if not to indicate that something supernatural is going on, apart from the other
Yep.
supernatural stuff.
Yeah. Huh, that's very interesting. But it's also, like a small town, this in the small island town, and there are some secret behind that because we kind of like know the old people, the old town. They know what's going on, and they know they're gonna be next as well.
Yeah, that's
In
very
the
much like Summertime Rendering.
Yeah,
Like it's a remote location, and the older generation are the ones who know the legends and the lore.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I do like the adult cast. Like the
all
middle-aged
right,
men we saw at the crime scene towards the end, the
yeah,
woman who was at the takoyaki stand, who
mm,
like froze in place and slowly turned her head after Hikaru walked past her, like she could sense that something wasn't right with him.
yeah, yeah.
And the cleanup. So Tanaka is one of the most interesting characters in this whole first episode. He's the cleanup man
All
with
right, yeah,
the bruise on his neck or whatever that's supposed to be, like a corruption mark, who barges into someone's apartment carrying a hamster in a cage running on a wheel,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
somehow
yeah.
uses it to look for the possessed desk with the face in
Yeah,
it
yeah,
calling for its mother. That was just so strange that I was like, "Oh, I like that.
mm,
That's really
yeah,
weird."
yeah, yeah. It's really like off-putting in a good way.
Yeah.
Like you see like the CG was there obviously, but it's kind of fit uh into what's going on. So yeah, I like it. I like it as well. What I enjoy the most though is Yoshiki, like really conflicted idea in regards to the new Hikaru. Like you have right a really queer of vibe here, and I mean it in a very good way because I don't think that you know they normally they explore in anime they explore this like this good. So I kind of feel like a grief from him, and also like the love that he got for the old Hikaru, and he tried to love a new one.
Yeah. That's like the teasing that Hikaru subjects him to when he says
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like when he points out how attached Yoshiki is to him.
yeah,
Um, Yoshiki doesn't know, like he doesn't have a quick comeback ready or anything because he knows that it's true.
mm, yeah,
And he can't bring himself to express that to Hikaru or maybe even admit it to himself because you know, he might face rejection. It's the age old issue that
yeah,
people, all people have, I guess, when it comes to romance, but I think especially people, in the LGBTQ world.
mm,
And I don't know how
yeah.
overt the show is going to be, but as far as that subject goes, I was pleasantly surprised with what we got in this episode.
I I agree. I agree. All
Because
right.
there's
So
the additional, like he's so attached to and attracted to Hikaru, or was, and now the only version that he has left is one that's decidedly not his friend, but he's just gonna, like, he has to convince himself to go along with it. He has to like repeat it to himself almost as a mantra. It's better than nothing. This is fine. Um, but then later on in the episode, and this is where you mentioned that the imagery of the eye with the tears sliding out of it recurs. Is there's a moment where he like totally freaks out and admits to himself that he's terrified of this new version of his friend.
yep.
Um, so there's a lot going on with him. Plus his home life is really terrible. his mom and dad are arguing all the time, and we can hear that bleeding into his room during a particular scene. Um,
Yep.
I have a feeling that he's gonna like lose his sanity as the show goes on. That'd just be my guess.
Hmm. Yep. Well, I'm not gonna surprise if he look his sandities. I think the bigger question for me and will keep me interested for the whole core is that whether or not Hikaru is a bad guy here. We see a murder here. We don't know it's him
It's
or
strongly
like
implied that it is, but of course
yeah.
that could be misdirection.
Yep, yep. So there are room to like to kind of guess what's going on from here, and I kind of like that as well. I think you said you mentioned about the 18 copies of the first volume and the prospect of the time travel. I just also remember that Hikaru watching a movie and he cries and so Yoshiki told him that you already know about what's going on. You seen it before, and Hikaru just say that, but this is the first time I experience it.
Right.
So
I mean, I think
maybe
that was probably just a reference to the fact that their school had shown the movie multiple times before.
yeah,
But I mean, I didn't think about that. That's also
yeah.
it's possible
So
that once like if there's a time travel reveal that will happen retroactively, that
mm,
will give that line more significance.
yeah, very interesting. So yeah, I think if you add in the time travel twist into this, it's gonna be really interesting, and it's not going out of place well because we're dealing with alien and all their abilities here. So
Yeah.
we see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm most curious about Tanaka and like his exorcisms, who he works for, and how that's going to tie in with Hikaru. Because in order to survive, I assume it's going to be like Hikaru versus Tanaka. It'll
Mm,
eventually get to that point.
yep. Or maybe Yoshiki versus Tanaka. Who knows?
Yeah, in order to keep Hikaru alive, if he
Protect.
like commits to
Yeah.
protecting him,
Yeah.
maybe.
All right. I put it 4 out of 10.
For me, it was number two.
Two. All right. Well done. All
Pretty
right.
good.
Shall we get to the next one?
Sure. What's that?
All right. The next one gonna be Kaoru Hana wa Green to Saku. The fragrant flowers blooms with dignity.
Right. Yeah, the rom com, the seasonal rom com
Yeah.
or rom
Actually,
dram.
actually there is like a few others rom-com. I remember distinctively like one the other one where we didn't cover about like the ugly girl who
Oh, I watched the first 5 minutes of that and went
uh
nope.
all right. Yep. So this is the rom-com where we have like the bad boy, the scary looking guy. We have a lot of that in this season, and with a hat of gold,
Of
and
course.
and the girl, yep, and the girl who likes sweets. So
Right.
somehow they meet, and somehow they they in a different school, but just next to each other,
Yeah,
so they can see each other through the windows.
it's very Romeo and Juliet. You know, they're
Yep,
from different worlds, but they're gonna fall in love anyway.
yep, 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 yep,
It's
yep.
very I thought it was very traditional shoujo type setup. Although it's not
Hmm.
it doesn't run in a shoujo magazine.
Hmm.
It's
Right.
a
Yep.
it's a shonen series. I mean, the boy is the main character, so I guess that makes sense.
Huh.
You
Interesting.
know everything we see we get from his perspective, I think,
Yep. Yep.
including the scene where he rescues the female lead from being harassed by a couple of
Yep. Oh,
delinquents.
that's the worst. That actually. yeah, actually the worst aspect out of these episodes because we don't really need that going on. The harassments going on to put them together. They
Yeah.
already have a chemistry before, right? But I really like the main characters. And then the girls she S up as well, but it's for the main characters who like we hear his perspective and the way he does as well. That really that's really a win for me.
That's really weird for you that it's told from the boy's point of view.
No, a win. So it
Oh, a
actually
win.
like yeah, that make these episodes are relatable to me and kind of
Okay.
interesting as well.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was all right. It's
Hmm.
there's not much about it that will like surprise anyone. At least not
Yeah,
anyone who has seen a good number
yeah,
of anime romances.
yeah.
But that that doesn't necessarily work against the show. I mean, the fact that it's familiar but it's executed pretty well, especially
Mm.
visually, is makes it kind of safe. So
Yeah.
you're not gonna watch it and be like, "Ugh, what is this?" Something you know. And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does look good. I mean, the interior scenes.
Mm.
Oftentimes in anime, the what looks the best are exterior shots. Because you get the sky in there, you get the clouds, get a little bit of foliage, the trees and everything. And a lot of anime art directors, seem to have that down pretty well. But when it's time to animate a classroom, they're like, "Oh God, what do I do? Okay, I need CGI desks, and they all have to look exactly the same.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
okay, the walls they just need to be gray, just gray walls, or maybe like a pale color, the same everywhere. All the
Yeah,
posters on the
yeah.
walls have to be arranged at 90-degree angles. The curtains have to be CG as well. It just
Yeah.
they end up looking terrible. But the few classroom scenes that we get near the start of this episode, kind of comparing the two, like the girls' private academy versus the boys' public school, look great.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I hope that there are a lot of scenes set at school, and that's not something I usually say about anime. But if
yeah,
they're adept at depicting classrooms and the an academic environment this way, then why not go for more of it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. And even like extend to the cake shop, it actually it actually like does have its personality as well.
Yep. Which is good because it's where
Hmm.
the main character lives. Rintaro is his name, Rintaro,
Yeah,
and the girl's
yeah.
name Kaoruko, but I think her nickname is Kaoru, as in Kaoru from the title.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
The one thing I did like about the cake shop in particular was not necessarily how it looked, although yeah, I think it kind of had a homey feel to it, which was
Hmm.
nice. But the thing I liked the best about it was the
The
arrangement
cakes,
of their first
right?
meeting. How she was kind of
Ah,
off to the side.
right. Yep, yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
like that might be the way that the customers get to the bathroom, is like walking past her and down that hallway a little bit. That's where I would imagine the bathroom would be. So she kind of picks this secluded place to enjoy her sweets. It kind of gives the image
Hmm.
of her being like kind of a solitary character who doesn't want to be in the spotlight.
Yeah,
Um, I think that's a good piece of characterization that you don't need somebody to give their whole life story in dialogue to someone in order to depict that. You can do it through blocking or the arrangement of characters in a
yeah.
space.
And she kind of like in her little space and enjoying, like eat a lot of cake. So
Yeah.
she kind of getting a startle as well when he looking at her, eating or on the sweets. So that's why she run away, and yeah, we got the whole thing going on afterwards.
Right. Yeah, it's very much a meet cute.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, well, nothing further I can say in regard to that. I'm pretty sure that we get to know more about Kaoru. We get a lot from Rintaro perspective this time. So like at some point we will have to have a look at Kaoru. Current situation, especially at her home or her school, and you know
Yeah.
that's I think it's a good recipe already if we already in like the characters in the rom-com shows.
I mean, I was not blown away by this episode. Don't get
Yeah,
me wrong. I think
yeah,
the characters are fine. Visuals are good.
mm,
Story,
yeah.
good
It's all right.
enough.
Yeah,
Um, but it's I don't love them or anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, is this show remind you of some other shows? It does remind me of one.
Ore Monogatari,
No, no,
Toradora.
yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, because the guy, has a mean look on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that. I did get Ore Monogatari vibes because the girl likes cake so much, and so did the heroine, I guess, the main female character in that show.
All right.
And I guess the male leads in both shows are supposed to be unconventional looking, although I don't,
Mm.
this Rintaro has nothing on the guy from Ore Monogatari. He that dude was crazy, crazy looking.
Right, right. I like it. All right.
Did you say Araragi
Yeah. That's the
from?
name of the main characters from
Oh,
Monogatari.
yeah, I was talking about a different show.
Oh, which one is this? Sorry.
Ore Monogatari.
Ore Monogatari. Yep,
Yeah,
yep. Sorry. Yep,
that's the one where the main girl loves cake and the main guy is
yep.
scary.
He's he's like Hulk, but
Yeah.
he very lovable. Yep, I know
Yes,
that show.
exactly. I can't
All
imagine that
right,
this show will end up being better than that one, at least not in my mind. But I'm planning on watching more.
all right. What's your ranking on this one?
Number 5.
Number 6 for me.
Okay. I have a feeling that a lot of your rankings of shows are going to be just a little bit below mine to make up for the City the Animation gap.
Yeah,
Because if you put that
that.
one number 1 and I put it close to the bottom, there's a lot of, you know,
Yeah,
there's like 7 points worth of increment that is going to have to be made up elsewhere, and that's probably what's going to happen for a lot of shows.
right. All right. Let's see how we agree on the next one then. L- Leviathan.
Okay. Yeah, so I saw your review of this on
Right,
Starcrossed, and I pretty much agree with everything you said, to be honest.
right. So, I originally thought this is the original show, but it actually based on a novel. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, kind of interesting. And we have like we follow two different characters for now, with like two different settings in two different countries.
Yeah, yeah. On
Uh,
two different sides of what's about to be World War One.
yeah, that's true. Alternative World War One, because we have like the mecha robot, and we have like all these monsters who they basically from they original from the sea, but now here they're floating in the sky, with this kind of like interesting concept.
It's not
Uh,
just nautical creatures, because there's also when that guy is doing like the boot camp speech about how listen up maggots, we're gonna test your metal, we're gonna send you up there to fly with that jellyfish. I remember
yeah,
as he's speaking from the top of like a cart or a wagon or something,
yeah.
hit harness to the vehicle that he's standing on top of is like a panther or some kind of big cat.
Oh, wow,
Do
right.
you remember
Uh,
that? Like it
No,
looked purple and it kind of bared its teeth and everyone was like, "Whoa."
right, right.
So
Okay.
it's not just jellyfish and whales. There's other animals too.
Hmm. That's gonna be interesting. But I like that type of the concept. I The mecha thing is a bit of like for me, because it feels a lot more like anime than the other part, and even the
Yeah.
characters themselves.
I mean, that's true, but it's based on a Western novel, so
Yeah, yeah,
it's
true.
not as though
Well,
like, it's just an anime director indulging their love for mecha. It's I don't know, an American
yeah,
indulging his love for mecha. I think Scott Westerfield is American.
yeah,
I don't
right,
actually know.
yeah. All right. Let me have a quick look to see because I have a feeling he more like UK, but he's American. Yeah,
There you
he's from
go.
Texas.
You
Right.
know, funny story. This doesn't have much to do. In fact, it has nothing to do with this anime. It has more to do with the source material. The first
Yeah,
anime convention I ever went to, um, and I've only ever been to three, and I haven't been to one
yeah,
in over a decade. So,
yeah.
me saying first I've ever been to is not, an indication that I'm some sort of anime convention warrior. But I
Yeah.
have gone to a few. And the first one I ever went to, there was a panel for like there was a steampunk panel,
Mm.
um, and Leviathan was brought up in this
Oh
panel, and I
wow.
I distinctly remember multiple people in the panel during like the Q&A portion being like, "When are we going to get a Leviathan anime?" And the presenter being like,
Wow.
"Oh, that would be so awesome," and now it's happened.
Oh wow. All right.
So
I
very
just have a
weird.
look. Really weird. I just have a look and the novel back in 2009. So
Yeah, I think the first convention I went to was 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
So it would have been
very
very recent at the time, like very fresh in people's memories. So maybe that's why they would have brought it
yeah.
up.
Hmm. Huh. Wow, very interesting. And so you catch on the vibe 10 years before like it actually becomes an anime series themselves.
Almost
And
15 years. Yeah.
all right, did it catch your interest to watch more of it?
Um, I don't know how much of my interest it caught. I will end up watching more.
Right,
Because
me
I've
too.
never really enjoyed an orange show,
Oh.
and I do want to keep trying. I'm not just gonna write them off. But Land of the Lustrous, I thought was okay. Beastars, I
Oh my
didn't
god.
like, and Trigun Stampede, I really didn't like, honestly. I mean, I'm sure there were some episodes that I enjoyed, but for the most part, I was like, ugh, I don't like
Did you
this.
know? Did you know they're gonna make a sequels of the Dragon Stampede?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Dragon Stargaze
yeah,
is the sequels.
yeah. I mean, I don't imagine that I will end up watching much more of
But
that than the first episode, but I will try the
yeah.
premiere. As for
Oh
Leviathan's premiere, though, I thought the visuals were nice.
yeah.
Um, I really, you didn't like the mecha part, the Austria-Hungary part of the plot.
Mm,
But I thought the mech animation looked really good. I also thought it was lit very well. Like, as
mm,
it was kind of weaving through the forest and was trying to position itself behind a hill so the German tank couldn't shoot at it.
yeah.
Um, I thought the sun glinting off the metal and then like fading or disappearing when it got behind the hill. I thought that looked nice.
Yeah.
And the animation looks good. I think they have a good grasp on when to let the frame rate run unencumbered, like 24 frames a second
Mm,
during particular motions, like when Alexander, the prince, when he throws the cover off of his body to get out of bed, it looks very fluid.
mm,
Whereas in other
yeah.
moments, they know to like limit it to 12 or 8 frames a second in order to get more of an anime
Mm,
look. I think
yeah.
the studio has just gotten better and better at that over time.
Mm, mm,
Um, But
yeah.
as for the characters, I mean, I'm interested in Dylan's story, kind of,
Mm, I
but
do.
Alexander is mostly in dead parents mode for this episode. Like my parents are dead. I'm
Yeah.
sad, and
Yeah.
I've been kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I agree.
I agree with
And
you. I read your opinion before I watched the episode.
all right. I just feel like the first episode is like nothing come together yet. So I think like at some point they will get together and then we have like a real story. And there is like a because we know this is the alternate World War I, so the war is coming. Uh, this is just like the beginning of it. So I would reckon that episode 2 or 3 is the one that where we like when the shit hit the fans, so to speak, and that's when I think we it's gonna grab our attention more than like this first episodes.
Or maybe the shit will hit the whale.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. The
I mean, yeah, that makes
Leviathan.
sense. I think, yeah, the first episode didn't really hook me, but I think that this, like, Leviathan is a major um, young adult historical fantasy property. It's really big. So I think there were probably the majority of the people watching it are probably familiar with the source material. And the moment at the end of the first episode where the Leviathan, the airship, comes
Hmm.
into view would probably be like the number one moment that the show had to nail in order to please that part of its
Yeah.
audience. So I can understand why the first episode was arranged the way it was, with that being like the
Hmm.
climactic moment.
I don't
Didn't
even know
didn't do a
what.
lot for me personally, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't even know what Leviathan, what that is and what their role, but it's obviously a big thing. Consider the title,
As far as I
and
know, there's only one. Like, it's not as though they've bred a whole bunch of these whale airships. I think that's the only one in existence,
right, right,
and that makes it all the more significant. I mean, I could be
right.
wrong. I haven't read the novels, but I know a little bit about them.
Yeah, alrighty. So yep, this is a show that I'm willing to watch more. I see potentials. Not sure though they're gonna cover everything in 12 episodes, but
I mean,
the
it
12
may be
episode
that
is already
this,
out.
yeah, it
Yeah.
may be that this first episode will just cover the first novel because it's a trilogy,
Oh, come
and
on.
it could
All
get
right.
renewed for like a second season. I don't know.
All right. It's gonna be huge then. But
Only if it's
yep.
successful, I imagine.
Hmm. All right. You have any other note, or we just get straight to the ranking?
Let's get to the ranking.
All right. I put it fifth, 5 out of 10.
Oh, okay. For me, it was number 6.
Hmm. All right. Interesting. All right. So we halfway through and we hit like an hour mark. So we kind of on track.
Yeah, we can speed up a little. We have
Yep.
to
All
we
right.
have to talk about Aaron as well.
All right. Let's get to the next one. Nya of a living cat.
Nyaight!
All right.
The
I
death
read the
metal.
review. I read the review before I watch I watch this one.
Okay.
Got to say though, I kind of enjoy it more than you.
Oh, is that right?
Uh so horror is does nothing because there's more of a parody. It's more like uh they aim more for humors than like aim to scare you.
Right.
Uh I don't really like the production. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if because of the animation or something, but it just feel a bit off. But the whole concept itself is just like one stupid way to get them overreact. And if you kind of like enjoy that, which I like I sometimes I do, it's gonna be like something that you can enjoy. Tell me
Well, I
more
hope
about what
somebody
you
enjoys it. They
thought.
can enjoy it on my behalf.
All right. Tell me more what you thought of this.
I, I don't know. I mean, so I'm not a horror fan. Despite
Right.
our talk about Hikaru,
Right.
I don't enjoy horror as a genre. I would say it's my least favorite, but I don't even have enough experience with it to make that assessment.
Yep.
So a horror parody is not really going to be up my alley. But putting that to the side, or as far to the side as I can, I just think the show's not well produced,
Hmm.
and it's not strange enough. It's not
All
weird
right. Mm-hmm.
enough. There,
Yep.
so much of this first episode is like the main characters. Like it opens with them in the middle of a mall or something, like a big building, and they're
Right.
trying to
Yep.
escape without succumbing to the temptation to pet the cats.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then we get out of the mall, and midway through the episode, we cut back to there's a flashback, so we can get a little bit better acquainted with the characters. But then, if I remember correctly, by the end of it, don't they end up back in another building?
Yeah, we actually don't know that for sure because the big guy who turned into the cat right at the first minute. I think we he haven't appeared yet. Uh,
No, he does appear. He's not
it
an
does.
employee at
Right.
the cat cafe, but he's like one of their regular customers, I think. He's the one who's
All right.
sitting at the
Right.
counter as we're
All right.
getting acquainted with the
Oh my God.
the
Yeah.
employees.
Oh my God. Sorry, I missed that. I watched the whole 20 minutes and I missed that important details.
Ugh.
But
I mean, I don't know
right.
how important it is since we know he ends up as a cat.
Um.
It's just such a ridiculous premise, and I really don't think the show leans into how ridiculous it is enough. Um,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I want to see like if you're gonna set such a big part of the episode in like a shopping mall or whatever, which is
Mm.
like a classic zombie thing, and that's clearly a lot of what this show is drawing on in terms of parody is like surviving the zombie apocalypse. Only it's the kitty apocalypse now. I want to
Yeah.
see cats like falling out of air ducts, and I don't know. Like I want to see cats that have completely taken over part of the mall and like have their own little cat economy. With
Mm.
cats like using treats in order to buy things from different stores, and I want to see. Uh, I don't know. Like I want to see that the cats have their own news station. So it's whenever we see a clip of something on the TV, it's not just a human presenter being like, it's the cat apocalypse, run for your lives. I want to see that the cats, since they're now the dominant species on Earth, that they have their own society that's equal to or surpassing the dominance that humans had. It just like the show isn't doing enough with its premise, I don't think. It's just
Mm.
zombie movie but with cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
are a lot of references that I'm not picking up on.
Yeah.
Um so I've
Yeah.
got that working
And
against me, but I
yeah.
just think the show
I
plays it too safe.
right. I think the most thing that they play to save is that they still making the cat kind of cute and not as scary. So like in opposed to the characters who like running for their life, we just get like the cat doing just the cat thing.
But that's the whole
Uh,
premise of the show though, is that it's not
yeah,
like it's if you pet the cats, you turn into a cat. Like if you
yeah,
succumb to their cuteness.
right. They actually another show or episode that have the exact same premise. Sorry, I just do a lot of referencing this in this podcast, but
Oh, that's fine.
uh,
Do you
there
remember the
is
name?
an yeah, there is an episode in that oh my god, robot. That's the
Love,
Netflix
Death, and
animation.
Robots?
Love that and robot. Have you watched that? Because in the first season, they just like a shot of 15 different shots about the about different story that have
Yeah, I
these
know it's
themes about
anthological.
it.
So one of
So
them is
there's
about people who pet cats
yep.
and get turned into cats.
No, so there's one a particular episode is about like three robots who is in the post-apocalyptic world, just looking at why human just destroy themselves and die because there's no human left in that world.
You know what?
Uh,
I have seen that episode of Love, Death, and Robots. I've only seen a couple, which my
yeah.
brother has shown to me because he really likes that series. But I do kind of remember that. They go on like a guided tour or something, don't they?
No, so not the guided tour. They just are going through the world by themselves, and
Okay.
we see like a lot of people die, just people lying on the street, hang themselves. There's no human left, but at the end, it's just a twist that the cat is taking over control of that world, and they can
I see.
talk. They can they make like a civilized world just based on you know without the human, and it's exactly what you said. So
Okay. Well,
you
maybe
know
that's where I got the idea and I didn't even remember. But
uh,
yeah,
s-
I've only seen probably 3 episodes of Love, Death and Robots.
that one is like one of my favorite episodes out of the whole thing. So try that one if you don't remember. But yeah, I thought that one executed the idea much better than this one. This is what I'm getting at.
Hmm. Well,
And all right, another thing is the main characters. He said he don't remember about his past, so I think it's like really highly implied that he's one who create the pandemic, because I think he's the original cat who turned into human for some reason. So he doesn't remember his past, but for some reason I think he spread the love cat or the cat things into the world.
those are the only memories that he has. Are memory like he knows cat
Memory
facts.
of the cats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
names of like individual cat species and like their habitats and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
yeah, I mean that probably hints that he has something to do with this virus that's taken over the whole world.
yeah.
Um, I guess. I don't know.
So
I didn't particularly like him
yeah.
or any of the characters really. I
Mm,
just didn't connect with what I was watching.
right. So I think this is one of the show that we might have the same ranking. So I put it 10. I put it last.
So did I.
Right.
Feel like it's been a while since we both had the same number 10.
All right. Let's go to the next one, which is the Panty Stocking with Get Belt season 2.
Yep. Yeah, it's back.
It's back.
Really
All
weird
right.
that this was brought back, honestly. I mean, I guess it's
Yeah.
something that Imaishi always wanted to do,
Yeah. Yeah. I
but
agree.
Trigger was just so slammed with offers from different publishers that they didn't have
Yeah.
time until now.
E- Yeah, I would say yes. Uh, just for the that that even though I think the last time I watched this show it's just like a few years ago, like 4 5 years ago. I don't remember much about this except for but the main characters and the fact that it had like a twist where like a panty got chopped off. So it's good that like right within when they get back they just kind of like recap the whole thing, so get back to speed, and then it's continue on with what going on in after the season 1. So I think this is like the best approach they would have for uh, to make it a comeback. What
Yeah,
do you
I
think,
think,
Cooper?
yeah, I agree. I think it works really well because they can use Brief as the narrator
Right.
um, to catch us up to speed, and then from that point, he can continue being the point of view character, kind of
Yeah.
reacting to. I mean, you can't have it be Panty because she's been cut into a million pieces. You can't have it be Stocking because she's betrayed them
Yeah.
and uh, become like a mindless monster. And you
Right.
can't have it be Garter Belt because uh, he's a pedophile. So that's, I mean, that's it's definitely implied in the first season that he is like attracted to boys. The joke being that he is a priest. So
Yeah.
it's like a dig at the Catholic Church, I guess, or organized religion in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, this show is very. Uh, it definitely likes to make jokes, and it'll make jokes about anything,
I
including
agree.
like having to reassemble Panty as a character, and the one piece that's missing being her
Yeah.
vagina.
Yeah.
Like
Big
this
piece of
is this
vagina.
is the one anime that will go there.
Yeah. 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 Oh God. I don't know if we had if we need to celebrate or it or just slam this because of that. But well,
I mean,
it is
I think it's pretty funny.
it is what it is, right? So and
It's certainly weird. Like imagining the writers' room for this show
yeah,
is kind of
yeah,
a strange experience, like a strange exercise. Uh, I guess people just come in with the absolute most perverted story ideas that they have, and they go from there. That would be like a typical day in that room.
yeah. Well,
And one person's, like vagina being missing and that causing their personality to change. I mean, if you
that makes
examine
sense,
the
right?
message kind of underpinning that idea, it's not very progressive, I guess. But
Yeah,
the whole monologue
it,
that Brief has, where he does that very cartoony thing where it's multiple versions of himself that he has a
yeah,
discussion with to
yeah,
kind of get at his, like, for him to figure out what his true feelings in a particular situation are. There's like 8 different versions of himself that all look identical, and
yeah,
he's like, do I really like her, or just her persona or her image? How do I actually feel about Panty? So that there's some examination being done that way, which I thought the episode pulled off pretty well.
yeah. I agree. And even like the reason why it explained why stalking was having a twist, becoming the devil. So it just by explaining that I think Cosset is that him who just keep oh my god it's just hard to explain this just keep yelling to
She was
stalking
brainwashed. He put a
that's
little thing in her ear.
reverse, yeah. It just it's just funny the way that they thought of the way that's why stalking having brainwash, and it's kind of fit as well. So I yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that was Corset.
Yeah.
He's like a servant of the devil, I guess.
Hmm.
He's a demon. He's whatever. Uh, but you know, he may be an ally of sorts now that these characters have been through this together. I mean, Scanty and Nisox, who are the devils, they've got the red skin and the horns and everything. They've kind of been invited into the team by Garterbelt. He's like,
Yeah,
y'all can stay with us, you know.
yeah, yeah. Now that you
Um,
cannot go back to your demon world because you held an angels.
right.
Yep.
So now they've become allies, which begs the question. I mean, I already know the answer to this question because I've seen some of the promotional material, but it does beg the question: who are going to be the villains now? And I assume we'll meet them soon.
All right. Well, I'm not surprised. I know that the show gonna go so quick. The plot doesn't really matter. It just all the random thing gonna throw at you, and all the like the animation and all the colors gonna throw at you just like 10 times, uh, every 5 seconds. So, do you feel overwhelmed after the episodes? Because I did feel overwhelmed just by what I watched, and I
Uh,
did
I mean,
enjoy
I
it.
think the show's that way by design.
Right. Yep. 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 I agree.
I wouldn't say that I felt overwhelmed really. I know what you
All right.
mean, but
Mm,
I don't know. I was prepared for it, I guess. I don't have a strong memory of Panty and Stocking. I mean, I remember enjoying it. I remember watching the dub and it being pretty good.
right.
Um,
Right.
I also watched this episode dub, and it has different voice actors, but I think most of them do fine.
Right. Okay.
Uh, yeah, but I mean, it's just a very anarchic show. Like no rules, um,
Yep.
no visual limits,
Right.
and yeah, I don't know. I like it.
Just more and more, right? But yep, I like it too. That's the thing. It's just a lot of the humor that I know would work for me personally, like the large vagina thing, but it worked here. So you know, good on them.
Yeah,
I
I
just
mean, I think
afraid that.
one of the reasons why it's successful, despite being so crude, is that Panty and Stocking are strong characters, and I don't mean that in
Mm,
the sense of like they're strong independent women who don't need a man. I mean
yeah,
like they have very vibrant personalities, and their designs are amazing. They're just the characters are they have a very strong presence on screen.
yeah,
Um, and they have their own interests as well. Like Panty is, you know, I I suppose I could say she's very shallow. She's very into her looks, but she's also really into fighting, and doing like fulfilling her mission so she can earn her way back into heaven. She's dedicated to that. And Stocking is like a
Mhm,
little nerd who at one point in this episode she says, "Oh, I was going to go to a 4K surround sound revival of a particular horror film, like a black and white horror film." Um,
mhm.
this is after she's turned back into herself and she's
Yeah,
escaped like the gigantic monster that she was in. Kind of Attack on Titan style. Like she and Panty both emerge from their larger
yeah,
selves.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they just like they've definitely got their own thing going on. They're good
Mhm,
characters.
mhm. Yeah, yeah. All right. I'm not sure if I because I did feel overwhelmed despite enjoying it. So I'm not sure if I can last for the whole season without feeling like a bit of the uh is it too much take feeling. But as far as the first episode goes, I just feel that like it's captured the magic of the first season.
Okay.
All right, so uh I put it second.
All right. For me, it was number 4.
Four. All
Yeah.
right. Well done. All right, shall we get to the next one?
What's next?
Luli no Houseki. So, Ruri Rocks.
Right.
Or Luli Locks.
Yeah. Yeah. Studio Bind show. This is
Huh.
the same studio who did like Mushoku Tensei and Onimai, you know, shows that are like very risque.
Huh. All right.
Um,
Very
but
risky.
they're very nicely animated and directed.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm not that I know that for sure. That's just the reputation that they have. I haven't seen even one episode of Mushoku, and I only watched the one episode of Onimai, and I was like, I'm out of here. But I was very much looking forward to this show because it's got like a normal premise
Yep.
and it might have had the same production value behind it. That was my speculation. And
Right.
I think the first episode panned out, pun intended, very well.
Yep. Yep. Well, out of the 10 show that we watched, this one is the one that I have no idea what to expect the most. And I kind of enjoy what we watch as well. So it's about, like just finding all the gems in the world. So,
In the world.
in
Well, I
Japan.
mean, one of the first forests that or gem sites that they go to has a sign that says you can't take them home with you. So not in the whole world and not even in all of
Yeah.
Japan, just wherever
Well,
wherever they're
yeah.
allowed.
They did find what they went to go though. So, good on them. It's actually a very educational series in the sense that like we get to see how they find it. I don't know how environmental friendly this action are though.
Well, I mean, they make a point of obeying the rules surrounding different. I don't know what would you call them, like excavation sites.
Right.
Um, I mean, that's a kind of a major point of conflict, I guess, between the two main characters at first. Ruri is
Mm-hmm.
someone who like would happily ignore that warning,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets into an argument with the other girl. Her name is Nagi, She gets
Mhm.
into an argument with Nagi like, if we hadn't seen this sign, we wouldn't know, and we could just take what we wanted. So why can't we do that anyway? And Nagi's like,
Mhm.
you know what? If you're if you're not gonna
Yeah.
respect uh, what the rules of this profession, this hobby, then I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed, because
Yeah.
Ruri is like a brat. She
Mhm.
whines at her mom about getting an advance on her allowance so she can buy a particular piece of jewelry. Um, at first, and then at the end of the episode, she whines about wanting to get like mineralogy equipment so she can go on more excursions.
Yeah.
Um,
In the
she's
middle of
she's very
that,
bratty, but Nagi, is um, able to talk to her in a way that she responds to.
yeah.
So a connection was formed between them pretty early on, and I thought that was well written.
Yeah. Yeah. In the middle of that, she was about having to walk so far to get into the to find the particular piece of jewelry, and she was like, if I can find it, I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. But then her attitude
So
changes once they finally discover it. That
yeah,
was also a
yeah,
nice moment.
yeah, I agree. It just looks so nice, and yeah, it just a kind of show that like on the topic that we know very little about, and they are doing really good job of like selling the appeal of it. So not only on the jewelry and accessory themselves, but on how to find them, how to it's a my I think what is the term mineralogy
Yeah.
about like we get to know all about the rocks and how to find them, how to uh their distinctive features. So like it's a really good ones.
Yeah, there's the thing that I most enjoy about it is not necessarily that it's educational, although that's nice. You get the cutaway
Mm,
scenes sometimes where there's a dialogue, or I'm sorry, where there's a diagram,
yeah.
and there will be like little super deformed characters, little chibi versions of the characters who are like looking at all the different parts of the diagram, and Nagi is explaining, and then this happens, and then that, and then you can find this over here. Those are nice, but I'm more interested in kind of the philosophical aspect behind the show, which is that when you're thinking about rock formations and gems and things in mineralogical terms,
Hmm.
they predate humanity by so long.
Hmm.
A rock that you find at a particular point in a river, like behind a bigger rock that blocks the current.
Yeah.
Um, that it may have settled there after coming down from a mountain, and it may have arrived at the top of that mountain as part of a volcanic eruption, and it may have been in the volcano to begin with because it was underwater when the volcano was formed over, tens or hundreds of thousands of years. And the way that
Hmm.
Nagi explains that, even though sometimes it makes Rudy's head hurt, she's like, make it simpler for me. Um, you can kind of feel that by the end of the episode, the scope of the hobby, and the
Hmm.
field of study that Ruri is now interested in, is
Hmm.
starting to make an impression on her, and
Yeah.
I think that's interesting.
And I think that also speak to the specific of Japan as well, because as Nagi also explained, Japan is the place where it have a lot of earthquake, and all these like the rock just keep collapsing, or just keep like just colliding to each others, and that's the reason why it make these kind of rocks as well. So it's very specific. It's something that we don't find here in our land, for example. But just to get to know the reason behind that is also really good. So
Yeah, I mean Japan being a series of islands, there I think the what Nagi ended up explaining, and I could have this wrong, is
mm,
that like Japan is the point, or is the developed part of the world that has the most like tectonic plates converging.
All right.
You know, like bigger countries, especially landlocked countries, won't have those plates like
Yeah.
colliding with one
Mm.
another slowly over so many centuries and
Yeah.
millennia to create those rock formations. But Japan is, I mean, obviously with the natural disasters that have been happening recently and the way that the country, the land mass came to be in general, is there's a lot of seismic activity there.
Yeah.
Um, and that's another part of the show's philosophy that I think is interesting too, which is as Nagi explains, that makes it a very dangerous place to live, but also a beautiful place to live.
Yeah.
Like the one
True.
one you know aspect accompanies the other, the danger and the beauty.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and the way that they looking, they find out all these, treasures. I just aside to behold as well. So like for me, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, like the scene where they find, well, they're like waiting around in the river and they end up finding a little, I don't know what you would call it, like an enclave, an inlet. I don't really know a lot of geographical
Mm,
terminology, but they
yeah.
they find like a little area, like a small little offshoot of the river where there's a whole bunch of garnets just like resting in an easily accessible uh, pool, I guess, or pond or whatever.
Mm,
And I mean, I thought that scene looked wonderful.
yeah. Yeah.
And of course,
Um.
Ruri, with that
Yeah.
really difficult to pronounce name, was also very impressed. You know, I'm sure that's why she is willing to continue going on these long, difficult walks, is because something beautiful is waiting at the end.
Yeah. 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 So I'm not really that keen to the characters at the moment. But I really like the crystal, the rocks, the gems aspect of that.
As expected of a Land of the Lustrous fan,
Hmm. Yeah.
you like the
Yeah.
rocks
Two
over the people.
differences. All right. So I put it for now. I put it 8 out of 10.
Okay, for me, it was number three.
Hmm. All right. Two more to goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. One of them is Takopi original scene.
Okay. Yeah, this is the show that I said was way more like Dead Dead Demon
Yeah.
because there's an alien who has gadgets,
Hmm.
um,
True.
which are
True.
used for, unfortunately, violent purposes. Um, and there's time travel as well. And
Yeah.
the alien is trying to understand humanity. There's just so many parallels. Um,
Um, this also the first one that I watched for this season. And I think it's back like 10 days now.
okay.
Still live an impact. So just to say that how I think the first episode is,
Yeah, it's
to the to
child
the point that,
suicide is
yeah,
no laughing matter, man.
yeah,
That
to the
was
point that
hard to
they
watch.
yeah, to the point that they have the disclaimer right
Right.
before, yeah, we watch the episodes.
Yeah. Probably a good idea,
Mm,
especially for parents, man. I mean,
yeah.
I'm as somebody who works with children, I am already quite sensitive to like depictions of children on screen,
Right.
whether they feel authentic, whether you know any like anything is going to be too much or too far for me.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine how it would be for a parent watching
Yeah.
that. Just the idea of your own child wanting to take their own life or following through on that desire would like might keep you up at night after watching this episode.
Yeah. So there's one other show that also remind me when I watch the shows, and that one is Doraemon, because
Sure.
Takopi, I think, is basically like a another version of Doraemon, who try to make people happy with their gadgets, but don't really get the uh, the human psychology behind. Like the don't really grab the dark side of what the characters been going through.
Yeah, Takopi comes from Planet Happy.
Yep.
Um, so even though all the, the signs are clearly there, anyone who was like really paying attention to what's her face's dude, what is the girl's name? I don't think I have it in my notes here.
All right. Shizuka.
Shizuka?
Shizuka.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyone who is paying attention to her life would see the warning signs. Um,
Mm,
but she doesn't have anyone like that in her life.
yep.
I
Yep.
think her mother is a single mom, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep.
and
Mm,
she works as like she works as a hostess or
yep.
something in that field, I guess.
Right.
And they like operate on different schedules. So when she's home, her mom is getting ready to go out for the night,
Yep. Yep.
and nobody really is looking out for her well-being or her happiness except
Yep.
for the one person who can't understand that she could possibly be unhappy,
Yep.
that being
Yep.
Takopi. It's like that setup alone is tragic, that the
Right.
one person who really cares for her can't like can't understand, is not equipped to understand the pain that she's experiencing.
And throughout the episodes, he actually experienced some of that as well. So he experienced the bully heads on
Right.
from uh, from one of Shizuka classmate Marina, and he can feel the hatred, and he feel I really particularly really feel the moment where he's just afraid to just taking another step forward
Right.
because he afraid of the bullying, and he channeled that Shizuka must feel the same as well. It is a very strong, raw, but very effective moment.
Yeah, and you wonder whether that, that first experience of being bullied as a child in school
Mm.
is that how everyone feels? Is that like a universal feeling? I think a lot of grown-ups,
Right.
we
Yeah.
block that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But your
Yeah.
your first time being bullied as a child after having been hopefully loved by your parent or parents,
Yeah.
um, as when you're very small, eventually you have to go off to school, and when you enter the world, there are obviously going to be some people who don't like you or who don't agree with you, or is that how every kid feels when they're first bullied, harassed, abused, like they can't take a step, like they're frozen in place? And we've all felt that, and we've shut it out of our minds.
Right.
It's it's really, it's this show just really makes you ask yourself the hard questions because
Yeah.
it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I mean,
And
I like that sort of thing. I like stuff that's really raw and ugly and depressing.
yeah.
Um, so hooray
And
for
yeah.
me.
Wow. Hooray! I thought that the show mixed between like Takopi innocence look and like hit all of villains to like Shizuka issues, and then all of the raw and the depressing stuff later on. I thought that like the show does that really well. It's what a really thin line, but it's sell the concept.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see how Takopi is gonna save Shizuka's life. Like what discovery he'll make, or
And
what time traveling strategy he'll come up with, or whatever,
yeah,
in order to arrive in
eh,
a like a timeline where she can be saved, where
yeah,
her
and
perspective, like her fate, can be unwound.
right. And another thing as well is it doesn't really try to give the blame to Marina, the bullier, as we see as a closing moment in the episode. She actually also a victim of the abuse from her mom. at
Yeah.
least like psychological abuse. As a and that's just feel the hatred that she had for Shizuka. So it she just another victim of like the vicious cycle of abuse.
Yeah. And I think that's probably something that Takopi is going to have to discover
Yep.
and understand, like come to internalize, is that this isn't
Right.
Planet Happy. I don't think we're in Planet Happy anymore. Um,
Yep.
there, there are parents who abuse their children, who were themselves abused by their own parents.
Yep.
And living is difficult. Just living is difficult. Even people who were raised in better circumstances can inflict, emotional damage on others.
Hmm.
Our brains will pick up on the negative and hold on to it for a long time, longer than the positive. I think for most people.
Yep. 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 I agree. And yeah, it's just a very hard slow to very hard show to swallow. And for me, I think for now they actually putting the blame not on the children but on the adult who like don't really care about the child. And even like the teacher themselves who when reported about the abuse they just kind of look it another way.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got. I think that's been a theme in some anime that have tackled this topic. Well, not the topic of
Right.
suicide, but of bullying.
Yep.
Teachers just wanting to sweep it under the rug. Is that how it went in Sangatsu season 2? I think in
it
Sangatsu season 2, the
it
teacher was actually more
no
helpful.
so No, so the original teacher didn't really help out because he been stretching about that as well, and at one point she collapsed in the middle of the class. So like by collapsing, I mean she just like kind of lose it. So not like falling down, but she just loses. She just try to blame other people. And then after that episode, there's another teacher from I think another class come in, and he tried to settle that.
Okay, I do remember it being a male teacher who was the one who
Yeah,
who set up the conversation
yeah,
between the two
yeah,
girls.
yeah.
Um,
So
Yeah,
there
but I mean,
also
it's
that
Sangatsu is the show that comes to mind most quickly when I
yeah,
reach into my brain for an example. But
yeah,
it's not just that one. There's
yeah,
often like classroom scenes in anime where somebody's being made fun of and the teacher is just like they're writing on the chalkboard and they don't even turn around.
right, yeah. I think Sangatsu is a good example because it's actually tell us how the teacher how the adult can be involved in this. So it take like two different characters to do that, but like it's a lot much better than a lot of other show who's like just the absence of the teacher or the teacher just were, were framed in a way that like they totally ignore it.
Yeah, they just put their head down, try to get through their day, collect their paycheck.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, believe me, I've had days like that.
yeah.
Not
Well,
the
you
ignoring of bullying, um,
right.
but days where I wanted to just collect my paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I
I'll be honest, man. I've probably had 1 or 2 days where I've uh, not intervened in a quarrel between two students where I should have done so
right. All right.
because I
Well,
know,
it's
uh,
happened all the time, right? So
yeah, well, in particular, especially between boys at that
mm,
age,
right.
sometimes it just happens every day,
Right.
and you get
It's
exhausted.
yeah. It's a tough profession.
Yeah,
Anyway, I I'm not sure how the show gonna approach that. So I know that it's gonna approach the children perspective. Not sure if they ever approached the parents. So I'm really looking forward to see yep how the show, especially Takupi, approach the issues because it in the end it's Takupi who like by his own strength resolve it and not involving the parents. It's not gonna be that's good of a message, right? So it's someone, just some stranger come into your life and try to make things happen and did make that happen for in a better life. It's not kind of like resolving the issue, the core issue themselves, right?
Well, can the issue be resolved? Is that
That's
Takopi's
that's a
responsibility?
Yep, yep. That's another good
It
questions.
depends on the show's
The
philosophy, really. Um,
Right. I would say based on what we saw in the first episodes, the answer is no. It's not Takopi responsibility at all. He tried to get involved anyway.
yeah,
So let's see how that goes. You know,
yeah. I don't.
very
I don't know. I. It's Takopi's show. Shizuka is the victim, not one of the. I mean, she's one of the two main characters of this episode, but I don't think. I think Takopi is like firmly the protagonist. And so it's
right.
going to be him who is learning more about um, Marina and her parents, and perhaps Takopi's mother. I'm sorry,
Mm,
Shizuka's mother, and maybe her father, her absent father.
right.
And that there's also like the class rep, the boy who talks
Mm,
to
yeah,
Shizuka at one point in this episode and is like, "Hey, if something's
yeah.
going on, you can talk to me about it, or you should talk to a teacher about it," something to that
Yeah, okay.
effect.
I
Takopi,
I
I'm
do
sure, is
think
going to learn more. Like the his arc is going to be discovering, uh, humanity's ugliness. I think, and doing
oh
his
god.
best to work against it in order to save his friend.
Yeah. All right. Uh, all right. I just love my my train of thought. Right. But yeah, it's come back now. The the series name itself is Takopi Original Sin. So I would be very interested to see what they define sin in here. You know, is it like against his own principle? So because he always making people happy, so that's gonna be a scene where he try to approach this kind of issues, or is it like because he tried to meddling with this, he actually make it worse?
I mean, the sin
So
was him giving the ribbon to Shizuka and not overseeing
right,
what she would do with it,
right,
because there's a flashback. Takopi has a
hmm,
like a memory of his mother saying to him,
right,
"You can never, never give someone one of your gadgets without
mm,
supervising them."
right,
Um, and he does it anyway because Shizuko makes that request. She says, I want to use this on my own time, this ribbon that you've given me, because it's gonna, it's gonna reconcile me and Marina. We're gonna be friends again, but I want to do it at my own pace. And you realize after she kills herself, the reason she made that request was so that she could commit suicide without Takopi's knowledge.
yep, yep,
So I think that is his original sin.
right,
But it could, of course, it could have more than one meaning.
yeah.
He could make a decision if,
Wow.
since we're time traveling, he could make a decision at the very end of the show, but chronologically, that decision could come at the start, depending on how
Right.
far back he goes. And that could end up being the original sin.
Yep. All right. You have any other thought that you want to say before we go into our rating?
No, I mean, where I rated this.
Yeah. All right. I put it third out of 10.
Okay, it was my favorite, number one
Yeah. Yeah. All
anime
right.
of the year for me so far.
Wow. Big claim. Bold
I've
claim.
only seen one episode, but
All right. Last but not least is a sequels
hmm
from it's called the night. So Yofukashi no Uta.
right. I haven't done the math, or not the math, but the process of elimination. So I don't know what you rated this. I'm sure that I could figure it out if I were dedicated enough. Is it like seventh?
That would be seventh.
Oh,
And
okay, that was right.
that would be nine for you.
Yeah, I was not feeling this episode, man.
I I kind of feel the same. So I kind of feel like there's a lot of thought. That there's a lot of talkings. there's a lot of like hanging around without the main concept. I would prefer like the much more the premiere of the first seasons than this one.
Yeah, I mean, I hardly remember the first episode of the first season. I remember that it's him
Just
walking around and he meets
yeah,
Nazuna, and then they have that scene towards the end where she like flies him up in the sky.
yeah, yeah. That basically is it. But it actually nailed it more than here. It's more like of a hangout episodes here. I would rather go on to say that it is feel more as a extra episodes. Like whenever they have an OVAs, they have like so like one of the OVA episodes rather than like the first opener of the second season for me.
They in the first season they go to a night pool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would think that if there were to be an OVA for the show, it would be a night pool
That's
episode because they can't do a beach episode.
yep. Well,
But they already
technically
did that,
they still
so
can.
I guess all they ran
Yeah.
out of ideas and they had to just have people talking. And I mean, I'm 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 not averse to dialogue. I like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like a
I'm
good
not either.
script. I like good
Yep.
dialogue. But I guess the problem I have with this episode is it just feels very much like we're being caught up on the character relationships
Right.
um, by all these other people telling Cole and Nazuna like how they are supposed to feel or what they're supposed to do
Mhm.
about their relationship. Because Cole he goes up to the rooftop, I guess, with all those female vampires led by I think her name is Hirata, the redheaded older vampire. And
Mhm.
they're all like, let's have some hot goss. Let's dish some gossip about what's going on with your love life. Like,
Yep.
man, I don't know. It didn't it felt like a teen, like a live action teen high school scene,
Right.
which I didn't really enjoy. And as
Yep.
for the scenes with Nazuna, when she was talking with, I think, what is that person's name? Hatsuka. Hatsuka
Hmm.
is like she's biologically a man, and I don't think she identifies as a woman, but she dresses as one. Uh, that whole scene, like it was, I got a similar feeling from that scene. Like Hatsuka was talking to her and advising her on what she's supposed to do now that she's got this guy that she might be interested in and who might be interested in her. I just thought it was kind of dull. Like, I would
Yep.
rather see Cole and Nazuna interacting as we do in the second half of the episode to get a sense of how they feel about each other rather than having people talk about their relationship. I'd rather see the relationship, you know, in action.
Yep. Yep.
And that's
I
why I like
I
the last part of the episode better than everything else, I think.
right when they get into the zoo at night.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I still
Yep.
didn't think that was great, but it was probably the best part, at least in my opinion.
Oh well, I agree with you. So I agree that I don't mind a little bit of talking, and I don't mind like they getting together so we get a sense of like who the characters are. But it's all about first the relationship between Cole and Natsuna, which I much rather prefer they spending time together and figure that themselves, which happened a little bit at the end when they are in the zoo. And I just also really enjoy the concept of like coaches run the night and see different kind of sceneries at night or meet some really strange people at night. So we kind of get that a bit at the end, but uh yeah, the first 15 minutes of them, it just doesn't really work that well to me. So basically the same opinion with you.
Hmm. Yeah. I also didn't like I mean, I preferred the second half of the episode or whatever. I don't know if it was right at the halfway point where they traveled to Tokyo, but
Mm,
even after it was Cole and Nazuna together, the scene towards the start of that section where they like arrive in Tokyo and Cole says that he like I hate people who idolize Tokyo like it's such a big deal.
Mm,
And Nazuna like slaps him for it. And
right.
then, so that you get a little bit of slapstick humor, I guess that's fine. But then immediately the show transitions into like a serious flashback about the first time that she went to Tokyo and she went there by herself. So she was lonely. So we go
Right.
straight from her slapping Ko for uh, inadvertently disrespecting her to her being like, "This is serious for me. I like Tokyo, but it's got to be
Yeah.
with the right person." I was like, "What? All right, okay." I'm trying to follow along here. You're making it kind of hard for me.
Well, yep. Um, yeah, so Tokyo at night. And oh my God, I have very little thing to say about this one because it just doesn't really have a lot going on.
I think one of the problems is that all of these secondary characters who are talking with Cole and Nazuna in this
Right.
episode, I mean, they all have their own lives and their own stuff going on, but in this episode, they're basically just reduced to like
They
cheerleaders and gossipers.
uh, yeah, and they kind of like planning from each other as well. You cannot tell one different from the others.
I think if you were like had recently watched the first season, you would be able to, clearly
I
distinguish them, but it's been a while,
yeah, I
so
no no I just mean that by planning they just have like the same thought, the same kind of approach as well.
yeah, that's true. Like the rooftop scene with Hirata's gang, a lot
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
I mean, there is one of the vampires in that group of like it's four women, I think, and Cole, and they're sitting on those
yeah.
couches. And one of them says like you're exactly my type. I would, turn you or whatever. I would make you. What is the term when vampires
Oh well.
like they put you
Um
in thrall to them? I can't remember what it's called.
yeah, maybe
But one of them is
turn
like,
or
"Oh, I
whatever.
would. I mean,
Yeah,
you're just my type. I would make you part of my uh, offspring." I think.
yeah, all right.
So she is kind of distinguished in that scene from everybody else, but it does feel like they all kind of have the same motivation, which is they just want to hear, you know, uh, teenage boy talk about the girl that he kind of likes.
Right. Yeah,
There's just not a lot going on there.
yeah. And Natsuba being embarrassed about, all the kiss and all these romantic talk.
Yeah, it was just kind of meh.
Yeah. All right. I kind of interested to watch more of that, but after the episode, I'm not sure if like my expectation have been tempered a little bit. I still gonna watch. Hopefully, like watch to the end of it.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to let me know because I'm not going any further than this. I don't think.
Oh wow. All
I
right.
mean, the story's going to change, I'm sure. There's going to be new characters introduced, and the detective lady from the first season is like if the OP is anything to go by, she's going to have a more prominent role this time. But
Was yeah.
meh.
What is so your top 10 originally?
What do you mean for that for 2022? I think
Yeah, for the first season.
no, it was not. It was an
All
honorable
right.
mention for you. I remember that, along with Licorice Recoil, I think.
Right. All right.
But no, for me, no. I thought it was okay.
Hmm. Alrighty. So that our 10 shows for this summer season.
Yep.
I'm sure go to name my favorite, like my top favorite. We do have a
City.
ranking. City. Struggle. But well, do you have any recommendation out of the 10 shows?
Yeah, the ones that I like the most, the ones with the lowest numbers or highest numbers, however you want to
No, no,
frame it.
out of the 10 shows.
Out of these 10,
Yep.
yeah, the ones that I rank the highest or the best.
No, no, no. So sorry. So aside from
Oh,
these 10.
um, do I? Oh, I kind of liked With You and the Rain. Ame to Kimi
Right.
to
Hmm. All right.
has a really it has a really good OP. If you watch the OP, you might want to watch the show.
All right.
Episode's pretty good too.
All right.
That's about it.
So yeah, let's figure out the three shows that we gonna get at the end. Takopi no Genzai would be one. The
Hikaru.
Summer Hikaru Die would be the second one, and I think that might be
My
Panty
score,
Stocking.
it's Panty and Stocking, but you're not sure that you want to continue with that.
No,
So
no, I don't mind.
maybe Fragrant Flower or Leviathan.
Oh no, City the animation gonna be the next one.
Man, no. I'm. How would I discuss it, man? I mean, I don't think there's a lot to discuss in general with a show like that.
We can talk about like every little skit that we enjoy and not enjoy. But yeah, the the number three is Panty Stocking, and I'm good with that.
Now, if you're apprehensive about like getting worn down by it, I think it's fine that we do something else.
All right, we put the third one on hold. Let's just see if Leviathan, City the animation, or Panty Stocking, and one more, Kaoru.
Yeah.
How they fare for the next few episodes, and then we decide.
All right.
All right, so good for
That
me.
sounds like a plan.
All right, that's my that's much to our clock for us as well, and the end of our episodes.
Yeah, the next
This
time you hear
this
from us, will actually not be on this channel. It'll be on Triple Cross Cinema. I think if you go to our like channel, our homepage on YouTube, there's a link to our other podcasts about live action film. And we're going to be doing a top 10 films of 2024 episode, the big one. We do one every year, or not really. I mean, we've done one the last couple of years. This will be our third time doing it.
yeah,
So you won't hear from us again, anime wise, for a while. But
but we're still hanging around.
yeah,
And then,
we'll be back.
yeah, the next time we hear from us, I think it probably some of the anime films or the end of the season where we cover the three shows. So
Yeah,
either way, it's going to be good materials.
that's right. Don't go anywhere.
All right, enjoy the seasons.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, bye for now, guys.